Hey guys, it's about beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews. Today's beer comes from Trillium Brewing Company. Ooh, it's probably going to be tasty. This is their pot and kettle, and this version says oatmeal porter with cold brewed coffee, 7.5% alcohol by volume, brewed in Massachusetts. And I don't see a date on the bottom of this one. This was sent to me by Greg, and the note he sent with me says, pot and kettle from Trillium, nice coffee porter, not as in your face as the PM Dawn. Picked up at the brewery about 3 weeks ago. Looks like they had an issue with the dating machine on this batch, judging from the ink smear on the bottom of the can. Well, I'm not seeing any black ink on the bottom of the can. There's some blue ink there, but it doesn't look like any kind of writing or anything. So I don't know what's up with that. He said he picked it up about 3 weeks ago at the brewery. Rate Beer says the last canned on December 10th of 2016. I'm hoping it's fresher than that. I just got it last week. Today is the 1st of May. I'm hoping it's not a December 10th version of this beer, but I don't know. Without that dating on there, it's hard to tell. And the reason I'm saying that is because coffee's going to fade over time, guys. And if it was done on December 10th and today's the 1st of May, it's almost 6 months old. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. There's no date that I can read on it, which is unusual for those guys. They usually got something written on the bottom of it, so I don't know what's going on with the dating machine. And like I said, Greg sent this to me, so Greg, thanks again, my friend, my brother. I do appreciate it. I've not been disappointed from anything that I've got from Trillium. Most of them, 9 out of 10, 99.9%, have been A beers, 10 beers. There may have been a couple that were not quite to the 10 category, but they have all been A beers. So don't expect anything less from this. When I was looking up the information to do the beer review, they've got on Rate Beer the pot and kettle, not the coffee version of this. It was not listed. Beer Advocate did have the oatmeal porter with coffee, with the cold brewed coffee listed. And they've made, according to what I'm seeing, several different versions of this particular beer. So, but it has the right alcohol content on it. But it doesn't say anything about any of the coffee that was used in here. So, I don't know how reliable the information is coming from Rate Beer on this particular beer, since they don't have it listed. And I'm sure somebody's going to say, oh, well, here it is. I typed it in, went to Trillium Brewing, all the beers were listed from Trillium. That was not on there. That's as far as I'm going to go, guys. Over to Beer Advocate. We're going to use their information instead of Rate Beers on this particular one. Pot and Kettle with Cold Brew is just one of our many inspired collaborations with the Barrington Coffee Roasting Company. With decades of experience hand selecting and roasting single origin beans from across the world, cold brewed Barrington coffees provide the perfect addition to our signature oatmeal porter. Like a fresh pull of espresso, Coffee Pot and Kettle pours a dark, almost black color with dense sepia brown head, aromas of fresh brewed coffee, nutty cocoa, dark fruits, and burnt caramel, and subtle vanilla waft out of the glass. Modern in body with medium carbonation, deep roasty flavors of cocoa, earthy coffee, mocha, toffee, and dark malt sweep over the palate with an oatmeal-based creaminess and gentle bitterness to fully explore the wide range of unique aromas and flavors delivered from the diverse array of coffee available. We continuously experiment with varying Barrington roasts and blends with each batch of our pot and kettle with cold brew. Malt is American two-row, rolled oats, pale chocolate, black patent, Carafa 3, dehusked black in parentheses around that, Caramunic, C120, and C80, and the hops are Columbus. So it's a single hop variety on this beer. So, and this information was added by a guy on November the 20th of 2014. So they've been doing this one for a while. So another reason to have that date on there. Like I said, hopefully this is not a December beer, but we will find out how much coffee it has when we pop it open. So that's all we need to talk about. As far as IBUs, I do not see them anywhere, and Trillium does not put it on the can. So that is all we need to talk about. So let's stop talking and start pouring. Alright, into the glass we go, and while I pour, I will tell you the cuisine is barbecue. The cheeses are buttery, brie, good Havarti Swiss. Goes well with your chocolate dishes, of course, and dessert. And the meat for this is beef, smoked meat, and grilled meat. Glassware pint, Becker Nonic tumbler mug, side down. I'm using my favorite tulip glass. And as far as cellaring this beer, guys, not recommended. Drink them fresh, because the coffee will fade over time, guys. A nice finger of head on that pour over to the light. There is none. It is pitch black. Good looking beer. There might be a little bit of red ribbiness around the thin part, since it is a porter. But it's pretty dark in the bold part up here, the thick part of the glass. Good looking beer. Very nice looking. Let's get a nose to it. Well, I'm going to tell you right straight up, the coffee has not faded on this one. Big time espresso coffee on the nose, guys. Wow. That is intense. If I was blindfolded and you put this up to my nose, I would say that was an espresso cup of coffee. Not getting any alcohol on the nose. And that's not huge. It's only 7.5%. But the coffee is taking up the whole front seat on this one. It is overpowering everything. I'm not getting any malt or toffee or caramel or anything. I'm just getting espresso coffee. And that is all I'm getting on the nose, guys. Very creamy khaki colored head on the top. Let's dive in and see what we got. I know these guys know how to make a good beer, Trillium. Wow. That is awesome. Very, very nice. Very, very, very nice. Well, let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Greg. Wow. The coffee is off the chain, guys. This is, if you'd like a coffee porter, you will love this. The coffee is off the chain. The coffee's taking up the whole front seat and the back seat. It may be even on the school bus taking up half the seats. The coffee is overpowering everything. Roasted malt. Black currant. There may be some caramel or toffee in there, but it is so subdued by the overpoweringness of the coffee that's been used on this. The coffee is out, freaking standing on this beer, guys. I don't think this is a December release. I really, really don't. The coffee is just too overpowering and overwhelming on this beer. Wow. This would be a great breakfast beer for the weekend. Instead of your coffee, have this. It'll taste just like you're having a cup of espresso. Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding as far as the coffee notes. Alcohol is non-existent in the taste. Super well made beer. I'm so impressed what these guys up there at Trillium are doing. outstanding. Whoever the brewer is there, he knows how to, or she, I'm not going to take that away if it's a woman, they know how to brew a beer. And they're just as good with the dark beers as they are with the juice bombs. So, wow, outstanding. It's time to fire up a Maduro wrapped cigar to go with this. Oh yeah. I'll be right back. Let her sip on it, and we're going to sip on it too for a little bit and see where it ends up. I'm pretty impressed right now. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. The only fuss I've got, there's no date on the bottom of the can. They need to make sure that that dating machine is working correctly, and because this has got coffee in it and it will fade over time. I'm pretty sure this is not a December 10th edition like I said on the earlier part of the review. Greg said he picked this up at the brewery, I think. Picked up at the brewery, yes. And he said he picked it up about 3 weeks ago. I just got this beer last week, a couple of days ago. So I got to film this as the latest edition from those guys. But they need to have the dating machine fixed. And we need to know that on a coffee-infused beer. You wouldn't want to buy a beer that would have been done in December, in May, 6 months old. The coffee is going to fade. And it may still be enough there for you to tell it. But it's not going to be what they originally intended you to have. So, guys at Trillium, you need to fix your dating machine. I know a lot of your stuff is brewery only release, but we still need to know, is this a December or is it a April beer? So I don't know how often they do this style of beer, or this particular version. And like I told you earlier, when I went over to Rate Beer, they had the regular version, but not the coffee infused version. So they are out of here on this beer review. To me, guys, I think it's a very well-made beer. The coffee is outstanding right now. But that may not be the case 6, 8 months, 12 months down the road. It will have faded. You still may be able to find it. It still may be there. But it's not going to be as good as it is fresh. Trust me. Final chug. That is very delicious. The coffee on this is off the chain. To me, guys, it's a 10 beer in a 9 can because we can't read the date on the bottom of it. Numeric rating for me is probably going to be a 97, maybe even a 98 on this beer. It is exactly what the label says. It is a coffee infused oatmeal porter. Nice creamy mouthfeel on this. The alcohol is super well hidden. The espresso coffee is off the chain, guys. And if it had a date that I could read on the bottom of it, I would give it to 10. So, that's where I'm going to put it. I'm going to go ahead and give it to 98 on this beer. Just need to be able to see that date on the bottom of it. So we'll know. So we'll know, because if you go to a Beer Advocate or Rate Beer and it says the last time it was done was in December, you're going, oh man, that thing is a 6 months old. I don't know if I want to buy that or not. If it had it on the can on the bottom, it was done on April whatever, or even the end of March or whatever, you would know how old the beer is, and you're going to get that big, bold, roasted coffee or espresso coffee taste. So, you used to have it, guys, especially when these beers are bought up and traded and all that kind of stuff, to know what you're getting. So, I would buy this beer if it was available here and I could read a date on the bottom of it. So once again, Greg, thanks again, my brother. I do appreciate you sending this to me. I have not been disappointed by anything that Trillium does. They do an outstanding version of just about everything they produce. So very, very damn tasty. A great final beer of the evening, for which it was for me. Went very well with the Maduro wrapped cigar that I was puffing on while I was sipping on it. Very damn tasty, guys. Very tasty. If you say, oh my God, that's a 10 beer, I wouldn't argue with that. You need to have a date on it to get to 10, though. Especially when the information I'm saying last canned on December 10th of 2016. I don't think this beer is that old. Give me a date. That's the key there. That's the key. Alright guys, like I told you earlier, the Beer Advocate doesn't have, Rate Beer doesn't have this particular version. They just have the oatmeal porter version, not the coffee infused version. So like I said, they're out of here on this. Over to Beer Advocate, they do have the right one listed here, and they have 93. So we've had at least 10 people comment on this beer. I think it's a little better than a 93. That's why I gave it the grade that I did. And for our final check-in, we're running up to Untapped. They have it at 4.07, which is in their A category offset. Granted, that may be their A- scale, pretty close to the A- scale there. But it is an A beer, no doubt about it. And even over to Great Beer that doesn't have the coffee infused version listed, they're even giving it a 95. So it's an A beer, guys. It's definitely, if you're a coffee fan and you like a nice dark beer, either a coffee porter or a coffee stout, you will enjoy this. It's very, very tasty. Untapped has it at 4.07, like I told you. Everybody thinks this is an A beer, and I do too. I wish they wouldn't have a problem with their dating machine when this was produced. So, if you've had this one from Trillium, their pot and kettle, and this particular version is their oatmeal porter with cold brewed coffee. Let me know what you think. I thought it was damn tasty. Thanks again, Greg. Come back tomorrow. Let's take something out of that fridge. See you then.